Good morning, everybody. I'm here at the Bourbon Lake trailhead. It's right across the road on Highway 150 from the Sulphur Campground. Gonna go off trail again today. There's a little unnamed lake up here. 2,500 feet off the road. It's a steep climb, there's no trail. People go there, but not a ton of people go there. And a day like today, so this is Whiskey Creek, the water that comes out by Whiskey Island Lake, and Bourbon Lake dumps into it also. I'm sure it's hard to see, but right up there in the trees is a fenced off area. It's the spring I was talking about, and it's got piping and stuff that takes it down at the campground. My trail now is right through there. Piece of cake, huh? I love getting in the woods like this, where there's no trails and nothing but the sound of nature. So I stumbled across an area that has quite a few of these flowers. They're called Spring Beauties or Virginia Beauties. They have a bunch of different names. A friend of mine, Kyle, showed these to me last year. They have a bulb at the root that's fairly small, marble sized or smaller, but it's kind of a cross between a potato and a radish. So good survival food or supplement food. Last year we caught a couple of brook trout out of this lake. We had brought with us a bunch of these roots and found some wild onions. So made a pretty good meal out of it. So let's dig it up and see what they look like. So here's the plant. I just used my hiking pole to break up the ground around it. And there's the plant with its little bulb. When I get to the lake, I'll clean it up, show you what it looks like on the inside. So I found another area with another little bunch of Spring Beauties. I've harvested 2 more. I brought food with me today, so I don't need to dig them all up to have more food. But they are all over this hillside. Guy could have a meal if he really needed one. So as I've crested this hill, it's starting to run into little pockets of snow. As usual, this time of year, I bring my snowshoes. I plan on going for a walk beyond the lake. But there isn't enough snow yet to warrant putting them on, or my gaiters, for that matter. And the lake is just over the ridge here, so we're not too far away. Well, that didn't last long. I've taken about 20 steps of post holing, so I put my snowshoes and my gaiters on, because there is a lot of snow between me. I can see the lake, and it is, the parts that I can see are froze over. But there's a lot of snow between me and it. Well, I almost bought a fishing license just for today. I live in Wyoming, and this is Utah. So it's $75 for a non-resident for the year. Little spendy, but I catch a lot of fish and I enjoy it, so I do it every year. But I'm guessing I could wait another week or two. This lake, if I remember right, is in the 8,000 elevation range. Scout Lake that I went to a couple weeks ago was in the 10,000 foot range, so I thought this one would be a little more open than it is. But once again, I'm just a little bit early. There's Bourbon Peak off to the southwest. I don't see any fish in the water, but I've made enough noise getting here. Not really surprised. Right over here in this jumble of rocks is usually where I stop and make a fire and hang out. So I'll head over there and take a break, and then I'm going to walk a little further. So I washed the Spring Beauties up, and as you can see, they have a skin very similar to a potato. And the center is white, like a potato, but they have just a little bit of bitterness or bite to them. Which reminds me of a radish, not quite as bad, but similar. So I just pulled up my map, and this lake actually sits at 9,600 feet. Scow was at 10,200 feet, so there's only 600 feet difference. So here's the outlet of the lake. It's on the east side. It's open a little bit, but not enough to do anything. It doesn't get wet in. So there's Whiskey Island Peak. Peak just above Whiskey Island Lake. Maybe it's just Whiskey Peak. And Bourbon Peak again. I've been to the top of Bourbon Peak. We looked at climbing some of those cracks coming down this side. But the top anchors were sketchy at best and the rock was really loose. We didn't do much. So this is why I walked up here. There's 6 little ponds here within a half mile of each other. Surprisingly, these are open. Or this one is anyway. Whew. And you can hear the frogs. It's awesome. So the map shows 3 distinct ponds right here in a row, and then another couple hundred yards down there's 3 more. I have found 5 in this first set of 3 so far. Now granted, this is a nice little depression, but maybe maybe it'll dry up and not be one for very long. We are way early in the year. Lots of water running off still. So I sat down here against this log here to have lunch. On the way over here though, we got too close to the shore and all the frogs quit chirping. So the whole time I've sat here to eat lunch, enjoy this awesome view, it's been quiet. And I was just getting ready to go and they started up again. Boy, the Spring Beauties are thick up here. There must be 1,000 plants just right here. Well, I made it back to the lake. I made it back to the outlet. I am way down the hill. Not way down, but 100 feet or so. I found a nice log of logs to cross. That's the Hayden Fork of the Bear River down there in the bottom. And through those trees, way up there, that's Hayden Peak. So I'm about back down to my truck. Back on the trail. I came out at a totally different place. I almost think it's the very first switchback you make is where I'd like to start next time. So I set myself up a little trail marker. And I dropped some trail markers on the way. They're subtle. I'll notice them. But I like how quiet that lake is. I almost hate to tell people about it. I've caught a lot of really nice trout out of that lake. And caught some every time I went to that lake. For how close it is to the road. It's a bit of a hike, a lot of elevation. Voila, there's the road, my truck. So, get out, explore. Don't be afraid to get off the trail. If you like my videos, give them a thumbs up. If you like my channel, please subscribe. Leave a comment if you'd like. And thanks for watching.